Listo. So kids, I am going to teach you how to find any kind of root with the prime factorization. This only works when the result of the root is an integer, or sorry, a natural number. Listo? In this case, we are going to find the square root of 1225. Yep. Remember, I don't put the the index here, but when you don't see an index, it is supposed to be 2. Okay, so I am just going to put it here for us to remember, but when you don't see anything, it's 2. Now, let me check. Yeah. What happens? That we need to do the prime factorization of the radicand. Okay, it's important. We start from that. Okay, so we need to do 1225, and we have to check with the prime numbers that I am going to write here. This one is not prime. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and there are more, but we just need this. So I am going to start check with the prime numbers, and let's see if this is divisible by the prime numbers. So what about the 2? The 2 cannot divide this number because this number is odd. Remember, odd, even, impar. One moment. And par. So this number is odd, so it cannot be divided by 2. Now with the 3. How can we know if a number is divisible by 3? This trick only works with 3. So if you want to know that a number is divisible by 3, you can add the digits of the number. So 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5. If you add 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5, it will give you 10. 10 is not in the table of 3. So this one is not going to be divisible by 3. So we have to continue with the next prime. Is it divisible by 5? Yes, it is divisible by 5 because it finishes in 5. Remember that in order to know if a number is divisible by 5, it has to finish in 5 or in 0. Okay, so that's it. So we do it with 5. Okay, the division of this with 5, I am going to do it with calculator for the sake of making this fast, but you can do it very well with by hand. So 1225 divided by 5 is 245. You see, 245 is the result of that. So we did the first division. We need to keep trying with the 5. Is it divisible by 5? Yes, because it finishes in 5. So we divide it again in 5. Let me do that. Divided by 5. And the result is 49. Perfect. So now we have to keep trying with the 5. But in this case, 49 is not divisible by 5 because it doesn't finish in 5 or 0. So we have to continue with the next number. The next number is 7, and 49 is divisible by 7, you know, because it's part of the table of 7. So 49 divided by 7 gives you 7. And 7 divided by 7 again gives you 1, and we finished the prime factorization, right? So that's the first step of finding a root. What to do after this? So as the presentation says, let me show you. After we do the prime factorization, we have to use the prime factors, so the numbers that we found in this case, 5577, to create as many equal groups as in the index. What does it mean? So we have to group them. We have to group the number 5, 5, 7, 7. Remember, they come from here. I am going to show you. They come from here, okay? We have to group them in equal groups. But in how many equal groups? Because I can group them in 4 groups or in 2 groups, in many different ways, or in only one group. How do I know the number of groups? So remember the index. The index in this case is 2. So we have to create 2 equal groups with these numbers. But be careful, because if we do it in this way, 5, 5, and 7, 7, the groups are not equal. Because this group is with 5 and 5, but this group is different with 7 and 7. Even if these two groups have both 2 elements, this has 2 elements and this has 2 elements, the idea is that the groups are equal in elements and in quantity. So we cannot group them like that. We have to reorganize it. We have to reorder these numbers because we want 2 groups. Remember, 2 groups because of the index 2, 4, but they need to be equal. So the best way that we can do it is like this. Mira, we take 1, 5 and 1, 7 here, and we take the other 5 and the other 7. Let me do it again. 5, 7, 5, and 7. And now we have 2 equal groups. Mira, 5 and 7, 5 and 7. 2 equal groups. And the last step, kids, just bear with me, just a little bit. The last step is to multiply. Multiply what, kids? This. You have to multiply 5 times 7, 35, and 5 times 7, 35. And since 35 times 35 gives you 1,225, 35 is, in this case, the square root for this number. Okay? So let me stop the recording.